Hey guys, hope you're all doing really well. This setup's just a little bit different. I'm actually currently on holidays and I'm just using a laptop and just a couple of other screens that I've come across. So look, I just wanted to do a very quick video. Just wanted to just sort of run through what I'm sort of seeing at the moment and just a couple of things I've sort of come across. So a couple of things that I've um, decided to do as well. You notice that the chart looks a little bit cleaner. I've actually using this full size mode just makes it look so much cleaner. The other thing again you'll notice is that I've got two charts up instead of just one. So I used to just flick between between charts just on one screen, but I'm utilizing the real estate now. So essentially my setup, I use two screens um, just for trading. So on one screen, I will have the 1 hour time frame here and the 4 hour time frame here. And then on my other screens, I'll just move this over. And then on my other screen, I've got the 15-minute time frame. So it will look like, excuse me, the 15-minute time frame. Then on the right-hand side, I've got the 1 hour and the 4 hour. So just as I showed you. So let's have a quick look at gold because it's been really interesting. So if we're sort of looking from like right to left, so higher time frame first, then looking down to the 1 hour, you can see I've got some levels marked off here. So I'll just move this this alert just so it's not confusing. You'll also notice that on the 4 hour, it only shows the 4 hour levels. On the 1 hour, it shows the 4 hour and the 1 hour levels because if I'm marking out something on the 1 hour, I don't necessarily want that to show up on the 4 hour because it just sort of clutters the chart a bit. So a way you can sort of uh, change that visibility is if you double click on it and then you go to hours and you change the visibility to only 1 and 2, so you'll only see it on the 1 hour and below. That's all I want. I don't want the 4 hour to be cluttered. I just want to see clean price action. So very clearly, if we're looking from the higher time frame up, we can see that we're on the 4 hour time frame. We've got over the last, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last 5 days, price has been making higher highs and higher lows. So very clearly in an uptrend. I normally run through the strategy, but I don't actually have that PDF. But if you want to run through what the strategy is, check out any of my previous videos. At the start of every video, I actually run through the strategy just so that you're pretty familiar with it. So definitely go do that. But for now, for those that are familiar with it and have some understanding, you'll know what I'm looking at. So very clearly making higher highs and higher lows. So once price essentially creates an indication, I then draw a level of interest on that previous high. So you can see here, price has made higher highs here. You can also see that this is also another level of interest as well because, we know that above this level, buyers are in control. I think that's a really important concept to understand. And then below this level, sellers were once in control. So that's sort of the premise and sort of what I have taken from a lot of Trades by Size videos. Feel free to go watch him as well. He's great. So essentially anything below this level, sellers are in control. We know that anything above this level, buyers are in control. And that's the same premise here, right? It's because price has made higher highs, price has made higher highs. So we can see here, if we then look across to the 1 hour time frame, so we're zooming in a little bit, we can see that on the 1 hour, price is making lower lows and lower highs. So if we know that we're in an uptrend, and we want to only take trades when all timeframes are in confluence with one another, meaning the 4 hour has to be in an uptrend, the 1 hour has to be in an uptrend, and the 15-minute has to be in an uptrend for us to consider to take trades. Essentially now this is the first time, so this is transposed. This is one of the beauties of actually having multiple charts up at once, just with the different time frames. So this is just gold. So this is the 4 hour, 1 hour. So I can see here, that's just making higher highs and higher lows, right? So on this down move, there's the internal structure making lower lows and lower highs, but that doesn't really show that on the 4 hour. So that's why it's really good to just see this. So you're not flicking between time frames. It's really good. So this is actually now, as of today, we're seeing the first time that price is actually breaking to the upside. So we know that based on the 4 hour time frame that we are in an uptrend. So this is the first time price is making a higher high. So I've got two sort of setups that we could look for here, and I'll put that alert back on just after I explain this. So the two setups that we could look for buyers is essentially this. We would want to see prices now creating that indication. So I've drawn the level of interest here. So this is the indication. So we want price to do this, then come down, not break these previous lows, and do something like this before breaking up. So we'd look for a buy entry for something like this. Stop loss would go somewhere below this swing low. Take profit would be, your previous higher high. Simple as that. That's essentially one sort of thing we could be looking for here. But if we look at the 4 hour time frame, and the reason behind the 4 hour time frame here is we can see, well, on the 4 hour time frame, we can see price has made a higher high here. It's made a higher low here. So technically what price should do, and it might not, but it's a possibility that it might, is that it technically should come and make another higher high. Because what have we got here? We've got a high, a low, a higher high, a higher low, and making a higher high. Makes sense, right? So if you trust structure, which I do, and I trust structure on the higher time frame, essentially what price should look to do now is it might not look exactly perfect as that, but what it might do is something like this. Price might do something like this and then shoot up, something like that. But ideally, the only thing that I'm waiting for is higher highs and higher lows on all time frames. And then when price gets to a level of interest and I can see that, that's when I'll be taking the buy trades. So I'll be looking to take a buy trade from this area here, provided that we are going to get that higher high and higher low formation on all time frames, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute time frame. So that's basically all I'm looking for. So again, I've got the 4 hour here, the 1 hour, and I'll just move this across to the second screen. And then I've got the 15-minute time frame, and that's it. So I've got an alert. So you'll see here, this is the thicker line, which is the representation of the 4 hour time frame, and then the thinner line, which is the representation of the 1 hour time frame. So I'll set that alert back again. And when price comes back below this level, tests here, and then looks to potentially push back up, I'll take a buy trade here. So I've got to wait for price to come back below here before I can do anything. So wait for price to correct, I'll get an alert. So then I might come to the chart and have a look, or have a look on my phone, wait for that real correction before the continuation, which is the third phase, to play out. And that's all I'm doing. Look, yeah, I just wanted to run through a quick video, just give you a little update. Only looking to trade gold at the moment, just because I think I just want to focus on one thing and absolutely master it. And if that means that I get less opportunity, and it means I can focus my attention on one thing and do something, or one thing really well, then that's what I'm going to focus on. And just work backwards from there. So not looking to force any trades. I'm not really scrambling for anything. I'm not looking at multiple charts. I'm looking at one market, 3 different time frames, and they're all in front of me. So I don't have to flick between anything. So it makes it a lot easier. So if that's helpful, please do let me know in the comments. And if you've got any suggestions for anything that you want to run through, please let me know. But if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, definitely hit the subscribe button. So Yeah, a little something different. This is I'm just on holidays at the moment, so it's a bit weird filming from a different screen, and it's all a bit foreign. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Catch you guys.